And now we're going to our module of the week. Let's bring in Martin Anderson-Klutz, Senior Solutions Engineer at Acquia and maintainer of a number of modules of his own. Martin, what do you have for us this week?
This week, I thought we would talk about the Content Planner module, which helps you to create, plan, and manage content. It offers a dashboard, a content calendar, and a to-do list. The module was originally created in September of 2022, but there was actually a release in it was originally released in September 2018, and then there was in December of last year, 2022, an 8.x 1.0 release to make it stable and ready for Drupal 10. Updated periodically, actually only has 11 open issues and only one of which is a bug, which is actually pretty impressive considering it's in use currently by almost 1,000 websites. The module was originally created by Lucas Fisher, who gave a talk about it at DrupalCon Global. There's a link to that in the show notes, but it's actually been recently maintained by Dieter Holvoet. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, Dieter. So in terms of how it works, it actually has a calendar that you can go into. You can select a date and the content type you want to create. And then once that content is saved, the content is automatically scheduled for that chosen date. The to-do list that it has can actually be viewed as kind of a Kanban board with lists for each state in your moderation workflow. And the customizable dashboard also allows for integrated kind of third-party widgets, including Google Analytics. So your content authors and editors can get a sense of kind of what content is popular on your website, as an example. So let's open it up to chat about Content Planner.
Yeah, I want to say one of my first impressions about looking at this module page is I feel like on some level, this is the module page that modules should aspire to match. It is so clear. It has such great images to kind of outline what it does. I mean, a lot of times you look at a module and you're like, you have a module page and you have to dig into the README to kind of figure out what's going on or install it and play around with it. But this shows you, right on the module page, what it can do, how to install it, how to use it. It looks great. I mean, another question that I have though is it says it's completely open source and free to use. Is it a Drupal module only, or is it integrating with some sort of service?
So it's fully, it's fully Drupal in terms of how it works, which, as you point out, is kind of a differentiator from some other modules that purport to sort of do the same thing, but actually use a third-party service. In fact, the DrupalCon Global session from 2020, I think actually is titled something like, managing content with native Drupal. So, really sort of keying in on the fact that it is entirely a Drupal-based solution.
It's interesting because Stephen and I have we're both working on going to do more blogging, and this feels like this could be a good way to help somebody kind of create a content calendar and to fulfill their New Year's resolutions around blogging more.
Yeah, I used to work at an agency where, there was a lot of those kinds of discussions around, scheduling content and those kinds of things. And so when I had seen that DrupalCon session, was really excited about it and sort of took it to that content team. But they told me that they had basically just overhauled that whole blog system and basically weren't ready to kind of throw out all the work that had been done and restart on Content Planner, which was disappointing to me because it sounds super cool, and I've played around with it a little bit, and it is pretty slick the way it works.
I also just want to give a quick shout out to Dieter because he maintains the module that I've used recently that I opened an issue on, and he was extremely responsive and collaborated with me to fix the issue. Very, very quickly. I mean, it was like maybe 2 days from when I reported the issue until there was a fix released. So definitely appreciate that too.
This is making me very nostalgic for my publishing days. I'm looking at it and thinking, wow, this is dreamy. I would have really loved this about 10 years ago.
I mean, those dashboards are good looking, and that calendar
I know.
too. I mean, it's
makes me want to start up a new publication, which is maybe a Is
I
that
mean,
foreshadowing?
It just kind of gives you the ability, right, not to have to use Trello and to be able to like just bring
Yeah.
it into your Drupal site, right? So,
Well, and the fact that it's automatically sort of in sync with the steps in your publishing workflow, I think is also pretty powerful and, like makes things nice and simple to keep up to date.
A lot of these modules actually need a little more promotion. It definitely deserves to be used by more than 1,000 sites.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
And that might be a segue into our primary topic. So, well, thank you, Martin. With that, we're going to move on to our primary topic.